Hi everybody, welcome to Activity Time. Today we're going to look into the After School Club kits and we will be making our Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. So this is what we're making, and in your kit you are going to find a piece of black cardboard with a white square on it. You're going to find a sheet with yellow stars for you to cut out, a red piece of cardboard, a piece of plastic, a piece of black foam, and 4 strips of black foam. Okay, you're going to need some scissors and some glue and a heavy book. Oh, I forgot. You also will have a bag of stars and foam pieces and things like this. And that's going to create the shaker in your Walk of Fame star. So when you change sides, it will move around, okay? And you will also have a bag of paint. All right, so let's start with the first thing. You are going to need your, you're going to need your piece of red cardboard, and you are going to need your sheets with yellow stars, and I want you to cut out the big yellow star, and we are going to glue it onto the red background, okay? So you can use any kind of glue that you want, glue stick or liquid glue, it's totally up to you. Glue it down really well so that your little sprinkles, your sequins and things don't wind up going behind the star, because we want them in front of the star where they're going to be seen. Okay, so get that glued down. Then you are going to need your little bag of paint. And when you get your bag of paint, you are going to smoosh all the paint down into one corner of your bag as much as you can, just like that. And take a pair of scissors and cut off the very pointy tip of your corner. All right, now make sure you have your table covered with, I've got a placemat, but you could use old newspaper, which is really a good idea, and that you have some wet paper towels because you're going to get messy, okay? Squirt the black paint out on one of your hands and take your 2 hands and smash them together so your hands are coated with paint. Now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand for this part, and I'm going to make my handprint and put it down on the star, just like when you do a stamp, and lift it up, and then you have a handprint on your Walk of Fame star. Okay, now you need to clean off your hands, and this is where having the wet paper towels handy is going to help. If you can go somewhere to use running water, that is even better, because you don't want to spread paint all over the place. Like I said, it makes a really big mess, but it washes off very easily. Okay. And that's good enough for now for me to finish the craft. Just put my paper towels out of the way. Oops, there we go. All right, now I am just going to set that aside and let it dry. And the next thing I am going to take is my white cardboard my black cardboard with the white square. And you see there are lines here. I want you to cut out the middle square. Okay, don't cut the edges in any way, just cut the middle square. And I found that the best way to do it is bend it, don't fold it. Take a little snip like that. Okay, and then just go to your corners and start cutting around the square, and cut this line as neatly as you can, because this is how we're going to make our frame, like that. And I've already taken the time and cut one out so that you don't have to spend your good time watching me cut. All right. I am going to put that on the table, and then I am going to take my piece of plastic and we are going to glue it to the frame to make a window. So put your glue right up to the edge of your frame. Okay. And you want it to smoosh around a little bit because you want it to fasten your plastic to the frame. Okay, and I'm going to just put it down like that and smoosh it so that the glue spreads. Okay, and get my paper towel. Now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of glue on the inside, on my frame, on my plastic. But don't worry about it, because when it's dry, it washes away really easily, and you just take a wet wipe or a damp cloth and you can wipe it away, and that gets rid of it. Leave it until it's dry, because it actually is much easier to do it afterwards, okay? So I've got that glued down. If you happen to have some Scotch tape at home, this part is optional, but you can take and put a piece of tape around all the edges of your plastic just to hold it in place a little bit more firmly. You don't have to. I did it with one and I didn't do it with another one, and it didn't make any difference. But it is an option if you just want to make sure that you have got it glued down properly. Now make sure you glue this on the side with the white lines. I did mine backwards this time, so my white lines are going to show up. But I can hide it with decorations afterwards. Okay, make sure you glue the plastic on the side with the white lines. Okay, now after that is glued down, you are going to take your 4 pieces of foam and you are going to glue them onto the back of the frame on top of the plastic. Okay, and to give your frame some depth, and this is going to allow the stars and everything places to like some, so that they can flow around. Okay, move around. Now if you notice, when I'm putting glue on my strips, and I'm going to put glue on just about like on the end of the one that's already down there, so that it's going to hold things together. Now when I put this on, I put it right in the corner of the window. Do you see the first one? And it's hanging over a little bit. This is going to make it easier to place all the others, because then you're going to put the next one down so that it goes from side to side, but these 2 pieces touch. All right, that's what you want, because you don't want any gaps in the frame. And then the next one, I'm going to do it the same way, and I'm going to make sure that the end touches there we go. And then I am going to put my next piece in, and I am going to trim it. Take a pencil and mark exactly where it's going to fit in, because you don't want to have any gaps. All right, and there is foam in there, so if you cut it a little bit bigger, that's good, because then it's going to squish in and you're not going to have any gaps for the sequins to get out. Okay, this is how we build our frame. So squish it in there. See how it was a little bit bigger, but I was able to push it in, and then there's no gap in between. Now, we have to wait. This has to dry. You are going to put this aside and put something heavy on top of it, like a book, so that it will dry and it will hold all the pieces tightly together while it's drying, because you don't want any gaps, okay? When it is dry, you can take your scissors and trim off those pieces that are sticking out, and that will work just fine. But it needs to be dried first, and it should sit under something heavy like a book for about 2 hours. Okay, if you can do it and then leave it overnight and finish your project tomorrow, that's even better. Okay, so I've already done one, and I've got one here, and it's all dried, and I have trimmed the extra pieces that were sticking out. Okay, and I've taken my I'll take my wet wipe and I'll just wipe off the little bits of dried glue that are still there. There we go. And see how quickly that rubbed away? It's just fine now. All right. The next step you are going to do is, in your bag there is a dryer wipe. Okay. You're going to take your bounce sheet, that's what it is, and rub it all over the plastic on your window, and you are going to rub it all over your red piece of paper with the handprint on it. Okay, so it's going to remove the static so that all your glitter can move back and forth and not stick. Now, before we finish, you're going to take your red piece, and somewhere on it where there's an empty spot, you are going to write your name the way you write your name now. If you know how to you do cursive writing, then sign your name in cursive writing. That's a nice touch. But if you print your name and that's how you write your name right now, then you print it. So I am just going to do this in black marker, but what I suggest is you write it with pencil first and then go back and copy over top of it in black marker. So I have done that. Take your piece of black foam and you are going to glue your handprint onto your black form. Now you can do it square like this, or you can do it diamond shaped, or you can do it kind of cockeyed and crooked, whatever is your style and whatever you like. I don't really like mine nice and straight. I kind of liked the diamond shape because that let some of the black set through, and I thought it was a nice contrast. So I'm going to do mine on a diamond shape. Make sure you use lots of glue and get it around the sides so that the sequins and things don't go in behind the red paper, because you want them in front of it. Okay? Now, if you're like me and you just spread a little bit of glue on your background, then give this about 15 minutes to dry so that that glue isn't going to have glitter stuck to it. Otherwise the glitter won't move, okay? And so that's mine. And then you're going to take your scissors and just trim anywhere if you put it on a diamond shape. If your red paper sticks past your black background, then you're just going to trim it off. Like that. Okay? And then you need your bag of sequins. And you've already rubbed this with your bounce dryer sheet, and you're going to pour your sequins onto the plastic. Okay, make sure that they're all down in the plastic. Okay, and then take and put glue, good amount of glue, all around your border. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to take my back and I am going to match it onto my frame so it matches like that. And again, I am going to put it underneath something heavy for a couple of hours to dry it and make sure all the holes are sealed. And there you go. Then you have your walk of faith.